when home doesn't feel emotionally safe. Home should be a place where children feel safe to learn, make mistakes, and grow. But sometimes fear, criticism, shouting, or emotional abuse become part of everyday life. This episode is for young people living with anxiety at home and for parents who may not realize the lasting impact their words and actions can have. You're listening to Emotional Intelligence Developer. Today, I want to speak to two groups of people at the same time. To the young person who feels anxious every time they hear the front door open, and to the parent who believes they're simply raising their child the way they were raised. This isn't about blaming parents. And it isn't about encouraging children to disrespect them. It's about understanding something that affects millions of families. Because sometimes, the people who love us can also be the people who hurt us the most. Let's talk about it. 1. Not every bruise can be seen. Some children grow up afraid of making mistakes. Not because they're careless, but because every mistake is met with shouting, humiliation, belittling, or being hit. Eventually, they stop asking questions. They stop trying new things. Not because they don't want to learn, because they're terrified of getting it wrong. Fear can make a child obedient, but it rarely helps them become emotionally healthy. 2. Parents don't always realize what they're passing on. Many parents genuinely love their children, but love doesn't automatically mean healthy parenting. Some parents repeat the only parenting they ever experienced. If I was shouted at, you'll be shouted at. If I was hit, you'll be hit. I turned out fine. But surviving childhood isn't the same as healing from it. Sometimes what we call discipline is actually unhealed pain being passed to the next generation. 3. To the young person listening. If someone constantly tells you, you're useless, you'll never succeed, you always mess everything up, eventually, you may start believing it. But someone repeating something doesn't make it true. Your worth is not decided by the loudest voice in your house. You are allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to learn. You're allowed to grow. 4. To the parents listening. Your child will probably forget many of the toys you bought them. They may forget some holidays. They may even forget many conversations. But they'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember whether home felt safe, whether they could tell you the truth, whether they could admit failure without fear. Children don't need perfect parents. They need emotionally safe ones. 5. Fear changes the brain. When children constantly live in fear, their brains become focused on survival, not learning, not confidence, not creativity. Survival. They become anxious. They overthink. They apologize for everything. They struggle to trust people. And years later, they may still hear your voice in their mind, long after they've left home. 6. If you're living in this environment, please hear this. You don't have to carry it alone. Talk to someone you trust. A teacher, a school counselor, a family member, a coach, a religious leader you trust, or another safe adult. Asking for help isn't betraying your family. It's protecting your well-being. If you're being physically harmed or you don't feel safe, seek help from a trusted adult or local child protection services as soon as you can. Your safety comes first. 7. Healing doesn't mean hating your parents. This is important. Some parents caused pain because they lacked emotional tools, not because they wanted to destroy their children. Understanding that doesn't excuse abuse, but it can help explain it. You can acknowledge that your parents love you, and also acknowledge that some of their behavior hurt you. Both things can be true. 8. Parents can change too. If you're a parent listening today, it's never too late. You can apologize. You can learn. You can listen more. Shout less. Ask questions instead of making assumptions. Replace fear with guidance. The strongest parents aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones willing to admit when they have. That teaches children something far more valuable than perfection. It teaches humility. 9. Break the cycle. Whether you're a teenager today or a parent raising children, Someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to decide. It stops with me. That doesn't mean becoming a perfect parent. It means choosing respect over humiliation, guidance over fear, conversations over shouting, connection over control. That's how families begin to heal. 10. A final message. If you're a young person listening, please don't let someone else's words become your identity. You are more than the names you've been called, more than the mistakes you've made, and more than the fear you've carried. And if you're a parent listening, remember this. One day, your children won't remember every rule you gave them, but they'll remember how they felt when they were with you. Make home the place they run to, not the place they spend their lives trying to recover from. Children don't need parents who never make mistakes. They need parents who are willing to grow alongside them.